morning. We are off on our next adventure to a car show again. This time just southwest of Berlin, at a place called the Oldtimer Show, which is, yeah, I'm a bit skeptical. I'm going to jump straight to the point and say I'm quite skeptical because car shows in Berlin don't really exist. And this one hasn't been advertised anywhere. But yeah, we are just entering or exiting the city now. It's about an hour's journey, so we're going to hit the road and we'll catch up with you later when we get there. Okay, so the plan was that I would give you a walking tour of the cars and point out some of my favourites. However, as you can tell, it is very windy and this microphone is not able to deal with that at all. So instead, I'm going to video it and then do a voiceover when I get home. So let's get straight into it, and as you can see there's an interesting mix of cars here, mainly from the 1970s and 80s. There are also a surprising number of American cars here, and you'll see that theme continues throughout the show. I'm not too sure about that yellow Mercedes if I'm honest, or that green Saab. But one car that did catch my eye was this Volvo 240 GL. This is a particularly good example of one, and I'm not sure what it is about old Volvos that I really like, but I really want one in my collection. And I'm pretty sure if you looked after this car, it would last you for the rest of your life. Another car that caught my eye straight away was this 7 Series. It's actually a 745i. It is in absolutely pristine condition, and it's a car that you could just jump straight into and blast down the autobahn in, same speed as anything else. Then there's this Mazda MX-5 on nice BBS rims, and quite surprisingly for an MX-5, it looks pretty much unmodified. Looking around, another American bus, some other German cars, and then this Audi A90 sitting nice and low, looking great in grey. And then this BMW 535i. Look how mean it looks from the front, and I think it looks great on these gold rims. It looks like it's been lowered slightly, but it looks good for the car. There is one design feature, however, that does annoy me: the exhausts. As you can see, the tailpipe sits slightly off center to the left, and that just annoys me. Anyway, on to the next car that I found a bit surprising, this Buick Monaco. Now, what a name for a car of that size, Monaco. Anyway, let's continue. First British car now, with this Triumph Stag in this really nice cherry red paint. I'm not sure that's an original Triumph colour, I don't think so, but either way this one looks great. I just wish the owner had put the roof down because they have a Targa style beam that runs across the top of the roof, and I think it looks really cool. Anyway, on to the next car now. This is a Dino 308 GT4. GT4 as it's a 4-seater, so if you have a family of 4, 2 kids, you can all go out in this car together. This one's in great condition, looks to have been fully restored, and it's basically an entry-level Ferrari classic car. You can buy them between 30 and 40 grand. Next up, a French car. This one is an Alpine A310 V6 Group 4 car. It's got a 290 horsepower engine. As you can see, it's also got a silly wing on the back and a big body kit that I imagine does nothing for performance, but it does look pretty cool. Then onto the car next to it, which is, I'll be honest, not my cup of tea. It's a Dodge Charger, and if you're going to have any car in this colour, lime green, then why not have something just like this? It's also got up front a really big V8 engine that I imagine produces an awful lot of noise and not a lot of power, but again, if that's what you're into, why not? Then there's a lot of empty space before you get to the front of the car, showing that this car is vast just for the sake of it, not for any sort of purpose at all. But never mind, if this is what you're into, this is what you're into. Next up, one of my favourite cars of the show. This is a Mercedes-Benz 190e, sitting on these really nice 6-spoke Momo alloy wheels. The car's in great condition. I think it looks fantastic with the body kit on it, sitting nice and low. That is an original Mercedes body kit, exactly as it came out the factory. And you may be able to spot that the wing mirrors are actually odd left and right. That's how these cars were for some reason. No idea why. Then opposite, a really nice 911S. This is a Californian import. And if you're wondering why there's so many car spaces around it, well, even though it's early afternoon, people have started to leave already, which I find absolutely bizarre. But never mind. Next up, we have this BMW E30 Cabriolet, and I'm not sure what engine's in this car. They came with various different engines, 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder. The one to have is the 325 straight 6. I'm not sure which engine this has, and I do think the car would look better if it was sat slightly lower, but each to their own. It's in great condition, really nice red paint colour. I think they look better as a saloon or an estate hardtop rather than a cabriolet, but obviously some people prefer the convertibles. On to the first of two BMW 7 Series now. I'm not sure what engine is in this one, but either way it would be a great car to drive. You could jump onto the Autobahn, drive Berlin all the way down to Munich, and it'll keep up with any other car on the road. It's also got parking sensors on the back, so if you live in a city, let's be honest, you're going to need them. This is a car that you could use as a daily driver even today, and it really isn't going to let you down. Then on to the next 7 Series, which is the orange one on the right here. This is a BMW 732. I really like the colour. I think that's an original colour. And as I've said already, with a few cars, I think it would look better sitting slightly lower. Maybe this is just my taste. Then we have a nice BMW 5 Series to the side. And the 190s have decided to leave for some reason. Again, it's only early afternoon. I've not a clue why people are choosing to leave the show so early. I find it so bizarre considering there aren't many car shows in this region. And then, yep, a couple of motorbikes jumped out the hedge, because why not? More American madness now with this ex-police car. It's a mid-1980s Dodge Diplomat, and I've had a good look around it. It's definitely not a replica. It's got all of the police toys on it, all of the interior is kitted out as a police car, and it's even got the lights and all of the decals on it, so it's definitely genuine. Somebody's imported it, and although it's not my cup of tea at all, I'm sure it puts a lot of smiles on people's faces as they see it coming down the road. And the same goes for this, an ex-military Hummer H1. It's absolutely massive. It's got a 6.5 litre Detroit diesel V8 engine, and despite it being a diesel, let's be honest, it's not going to be fuel efficient. It's also not very powerful. It's only got 300 horsepower, and again, another guy who's leaving early. He's clearly got somewhere to be. Something completely different now, because BMW are here with some of their current cars, and I want to show you this 7 Series because look in the back of it. Can you imagine being chauffeured around in this thing? You've got the big screen overhead and then these really nice seats that you can lean back in just like you're in first class in an aeroplane. Really cool. They then asked me if I fancied driving the new Mini Cooper S on a little track they set up. So of course, I took the opportunity.
Only important thing is don't drive too fast, but...
What's the definition of too fast? Don't crash?
Probably.
Okay. Right, off we go. Do we go left?
However you like.
Okay.
Just don't drive to the cones.
Okay.
But everything else is fine.
It's nice. That's nice. Pops and bangs that I later found out were actually from speakers in the car rather than from the exhaust itself. Not great if I'm honest. Very light steering. Brakes are sharp.
Yes. Just don't go too fast.
I won't
maybe.
crash it. I promise. It's very good chassis. Sharp brakes. I do like the sound of it. Not many modern cars sound good anymore, but this does sound good.
This is like the sports mode.
It is. And steps out as well. It says go-kart like on the side of it, and I tend to agree. It feels go-kart like. Do we have to go in now?
Probably.
Does that mean no?
I don't know if anyone is waiting for us.
Yeah, she put her hand up. I think that means come in. She's probably going to tell me off now. Thank you for that.
Hope you liked it.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, really good car. Great chassis. Overall, fun car to drive. Well, that was fun, but back to the old cars now. And some would say that this Land Rover is dented, some would say it's rusty. I would say it's full of character and patina. And just look how rugged it is on the inside. And let's be honest, you wouldn't want to drive it over a long distance, but it's cool all the same. Even with the little Union Jack on the side there, I think this is one of the best things to come out of the UK, the old Land Rover. And then what is that coming up alongside? Well, it's a Toyota Land Cruiser, and can you think of a better pair of off-roaders that exist than a Land Rover and a Land Cruiser? Really cool to see both of those cars sat next to each other. Back to the 1950s now with this Buick Century. And just look at it. I mean, it looks like a toy. It doesn't look like something that was actually made in a factory and was a real car that you could just go and buy. Just imagine what the world looked like when these things were rolling around the streets in America. Pretty cool, and this one is in absolutely fantastic condition. There's literally not a mark on it. I'm even surprised the owner's driving it on the road rather than trailering it here. Then another American something or other. It says Buick on it, so I assume that's what it is. It's just a massive estate car, and it's very jacked up at the rear. Not really sure why, but again, looks quite cool, and I'm sure some people really like it. Now, this is a car that I'm more interested in. This is a Ford Sierra RS Cosworth. These cars are getting really rare now and really expensive. If you find a good one, you'll pay a lot of money for them, and I remember when they were just a few grand, as I'm sure we all do, and wish that we swept one up. Unfortunately I didn't, but what a really nice looking car, sitting really low. I'm not sure if those wheels are original, but I know they are Ford wheels, so I think they do look good on the car. I doubt that's an original exhaust, but yeah, really cool to see it, and I'm glad that the owner is bringing it out on the road and bringing it to the show. A very different Ford now with this old American hot rod pickup truck, and just look at that exposed engine. I mean, why cover it up when it looks that good and it doesn't need to be covered anyway? Then you've got the decals or the paint on the side, some stickers on the door on the inside, and it does look quite cramped in there. Then you've got the flatbed out back, and let's be honest, you couldn't really leave any of your personal belongings on there, or someone would just come and help themselves, especially in Berlin. Then onto the safety features or non-safety features, such as the exposed petrol pipe there hanging out the side. Yeah, not very safe, let's be honest, but that's not the point. It's just very cool. After that, this VW bus decided to leave despite it only being 3 PM when the show is meant to last till 6. Then we'll gloss over this Pontiac and Cadillac, as we're not really interested in those at all. And we'll take a quick look at these. These are both Ladas. Now, these cars normally would have been battered and bruised throughout their life, but here we have two survivors that are clearly in great condition, have been well looked after, and I imagine there's not too many of these left on the road now in this condition. Onto another car now that's probably going to divide opinions. This is a Porsche 914. Most people either love or hate them, and I must say I love them. I think they're really cool. I wouldn't mind having one. The engine is in the back of these. They are absolutely tiny, easy to work on, easy to maintain, and parts are available. I think they're a great little classic car. Now, for a car that needs very little introduction, it's one of the most sought after cars of the 1980s. You know what it is? Of course, it's an Audi Quattro, and I'm not usually a fan of cars that are sitting on the wrong wheels, but this, on those Porsche rims, I think looks really good. In fact, I think this car looks good from every angle, and it also sounds great. It's got a 5-cylinder turbocharged engine that has a very unique sound. This car overall is absolutely skyrocketing in value, so if you want one, you better get your hands on one quick. Now for arguably the prettiest cars of the show, the Alfa Romeos, and I'm a bit disappointed as there were 12 of them here earlier and we're now down to 4. I'm assuming these guys have left early because they know they're going to break down on the way home. But either way, these are pure artwork on wheels. Again, they look great from every angle and they sound great too. Really nice to see them at the show today. Now I'll forgive you for not knowing what this is, as I've never actually seen one in person before. It's a Matra Marina, and they were only built for 3 years. It was a French company, and as you can see, it's got a very interesting design. Not the prettiest taillight, it's got a massive rear window. Look at the size of that piece of glass. And yeah, it's not pretty on the inside either. It's very brown, very 1980s I'm gonna say. So yeah, maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but really cool to see it here today. Another car that was cool to see here today is this Citroen 2CV. And anybody who says they don't like a 2CV must be lying, because they're really cute, they're really fun, and I know they're not fast and they're not safe and they bounce around all over the place, but they are just great little things to look at. I've never actually driven one and I would really like to. I think it looks great in the blue colour, and I think that looks really fun, having the little basket and the dog on the back as well. And I love that the roof just rolls open out the back, so you can also have it as a little convertible if you wish. Really cool. They're also not expensive, you can pick these up for just a few grand. More cheap Citroens now, with this Citroen XM on the left, sitting really low. I quite like it. I think it looks really good at the front end with all the lights low down and the long flat bonnet. And I also like what's parked next to it, the Citroen Traction Avant. And despite being really old, those cars are readily available. So if you want to drive around looking like Cruella de Vil, you can do so. I'll be honest, I prefer the XM, and I'm not sure if that rear bumper and exhaust setup is genuine, but I do think it looks pretty cool. On to 4 very interesting but very different cars now, starting with this Mercedes 190 SL. Next to it, this BMW 700 Sport, then the BMW 600 4-seater, and then this on the end, a Fiat 770S. I mean, just look at the shape of this car. Again, it's hard to believe that that actually went into production and people actually bought it. The BMW next to it, you'll be surprised, or not surprised to hear, it was actually only built for 2 years, as it was a bit of a flop. Although I do like the BMW 700 next to it. I think it's quite a cool shape and quite unique. The 190 SL on the end, I've always loved this car, but for me, I think it needs to be in a different colour than red. It was now around 4 PM, and as you can see, most people had already left, so we decided to do the same. We jumped back in the RS4 and hit the Autobahn back into Berlin. So, what did you think of it, Cedric?
So I think it was quantity over quality, the whole event. Like, there was plenty, during midday at least, there was plenty of cars around, which then changed towards the afternoon, which we were quite surprised about. Many people left at 3 PM on the dot. And yeah, the event was meant to go from starting 10 AM to 6 PM. Yeah, there was a lot of cars, but no sparkle on the cars, like no Ferraris, few 911s, but little sports cars, and a lot of like Golf 1s and 2s, and many German Mercedes and stuff. What do you think, Lawrence?
Yeah, pretty much the same really. It wasn't really well advertised before the event, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, good or bad. As you said, it's pretty much regular cars that are there, regular old-timers from the 80s and 90s, mainly normal cars, nothing exotic at all. So it just really depends what you like seeing. But anyway, if you like the video at least, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit subscribe and feel free to drop us a comment. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.